And at some point, you're going to get caught. There's only probably one man I've ever known, but the majority is that think they're going to make that money forever. They don't. I speak to youth all the time, say, you know, when I make 100 bags, I'll stop. When I make 50 bags, I'll stop. If I make 200 bags, I'll stop. Half of them don't get to 15 grand before they get locked. Before they get locked up on the before they get locked up on the joint enterprise over some crazy incident that's happened, which has caused them to do 35 years, 33 years, 30 years, 25 years, when actually what somebody else has done. So yes, crime does pay. Crime definitely pays. But it's short term, it's not long term. Education is something that's long term, and you can travel anywhere with it. You without be stressing about anyone wanting to take your sin, about anyone wanting to take your life. People want to move to you, or people want to do certain things to you to take you away from your family.
Paid surveys are a safe and easy way to earn online. But what is a paid survey? They're an easy way to get paid for your opinion. You're asked questions to help companies understand and improve their products. And
Okay, cool. Okay.
The missile can't stop leaking. We pretty much know.
Okay. The topic is gonna be, inshallah, sinning on social media and sinning in public, inshallah. I should be starting in less than 5 minutes, inshallah. Forgive me. Jazakallah khair. I'm not daydreaming. I'm setting up different phones that are recording for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Sinning in public. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Abu Jamal. Assalamu alaikum. What is this? This is my other YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum to Nasam Neng, Fruit Post, Abdullah Jamali, Bilal Ahmed, Haji Osman. Assalamu alaikum to Jordan. I've seen Jordan and Go Live and whoever else is in that room. Assalamu alaikum. Oslam, what is it? Oslam. Assalamu alaikum, Jamila. I think that is. Cool. Okay. I've heard everything you lot have been chatting about, stuff like that. I'm just setting it up. Okay. UK. Sometimes I go live on this thing, man. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, cool. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wa salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Thank you for clicking on the video and actually joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Jazakallah khair. Technology. Yeah. But as I say, anything worthwhile doing takes effort. So the whole thing is that, yeah, at first it may be a bit technical when starting up and so forth, but once I get the hand off this, it will be like nothing to me. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so basically today I wanted to talk about, like, as a convert, revert, whatever term you want to use, I wanted to talk about sinning on social media and sinning in public, because basically none of us are perfect, especially growing up in the West, yeah. And I'm not really going to be reading the comments in about maybe 10, 15 minutes. I'll start going through the comments and interacting with you guys, but let me just get what's off my mind, and then after I can talk with you each other. So yeah, basically, I'm sure you all know, growing up in the West, it's not the most easy of things, you know. Like, it's not an Islamic country. There's not like masjids like in a Muslim country. There's masjids everywhere. If for any of you that have been to a Muslim country, it's very easy to practice, even if there's certain haram things in the Muslim countries and so forth. It's very easy to practice there. I don't know if you've been to Egypt or you've been to Morocco, or you've been to certain other Muslim countries, regardless of like certain places like the tourist attractions, the general places, even though they might not have everything might not be Islamic about them, it's very easy to practice in that, you know, you can't, it's a kind of impossible to miss the prayer because there's adhan everywhere, there's masjids everywhere. You come out your house, there's a masjid on that corner, and so forth. So the whole thing is that it's quite easy to practice there. Yeah. Unfortunately, in the West, it's not like that. You know, it's like there might not be a masjid near your house. You don't hear the adhan, and so forth. So basically, it's not that easy in the West. So what I would say is that you see sins every time you go outside, whether it's nakedness of the opposition, or whether it's music, whether it's people swearing, whether it's I don't know, pubs and alcohol and so forth, or people offer you a cigarette or alcohol and so forth. Yeah. But the thing I wanted to talk about, something that I've noticed, yeah, is that there's a big difference. The Prophet said, all of my ummah will be forgiven, except those who broadcast their sins or those who sin publicly. So this hadith is basically saying that, you know, Allah will, if someone sincerely, you know, does a sin or falls into a sin, whether it's major or minor, and they sincerely leave it. Say someone falls into listening to music, which is a major sin in Islam, yeah, and then they feel bad about it and so forth, and they make tawbah from it. And there's conditions to tawbah. One of the conditions is that you repent. Another condition, and you're sorry about it. Another condition is that that you don't try not to return to it, and that you don't ever return to other sins as well. So the whole thing is that, look, if someone does a sin, yeah, that hadith that all of my ummah will be forgiven except those who broadcast their sins, yeah. If a person sincerely does a sin, you know, and falls into a sin, even if it's a major sin, and then they feel bad about it and they turn to Allah and they make tawbah and they stay away from it and they stay away from other sins and so forth, there's a chance, inshallah, that they can be forgiven for it. But something I don't get and I don't understand, yeah, is why Muslims, especially Muslims born into a Muslim family, because people are judged differently. Like, if someone just embraced the deen yesterday, They're not judged like someone who's born into a Muslim family and been Muslim all their life. Yeah. But one thing I don't get, yeah, is that we all have different fitness, different people have different fitness, and different things they're tested with. Some people it might be music, some people it might be girl, the opposite gender, some people it might be arrogance. It might be people have different sins. Yeah. But one thing I don't understand is that when someone's suffering with something, why they have to do it in public, or why they have to do it on social media. For example, say say someone suffers from a fit of music, yeah? Okay, they suffer with a fit of music. Now, me myself, I would say this: that I'm not the most, I'm not no pious person. I know you see a bird and a teeth and this, that, the other. Music's not one of the things I suffered with, alhamdulillah, but I have my own fitness that I suffer with, and so forth. Yeah, and I'm not some pious person like some pious scholar or this, that, the other. I'm just a brother who's trying to practice and so forth. Yeah. Um, but the thing is that I would never, because I struggle with something, and I struggle with different things. I'm hoping that, if I sin and I make tawbah from it, inshallah, on your Qiyamah, Allah will forgive me for it. Yeah? Especially because of that hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said that all of my sins will be, all of my ummah will be forgiven, except those who broadcast their sins. Yeah? But why don't I understand how a person can struggle with a sin, yeah? Like music, or I don't know, whether it's music or smoking or whatever, and then post it online, yeah? Because everybody on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, or any social media you have, at least, even if you're not popular, whatever that means, or even if you're not um, well known, or you're not a person in Dawa or whatever, generally on things like Facebook and Instagram and so forth, you have a few hundred people, even if you don't do much on your account. This is just the way they are, yeah. So what I don't understand is that if a person, yeah, is tried with something, whether it's music or smoking or this, that, and the other, there's no excuse for them to post that sin online, yeah, and to make another Muslim week. Because the whole thing is that when people follow you, yeah, and you post haram, whether it's music, whether it's picture of you raving, whether it's picture of you clubbers, whether it's picture of you drinking and so forth, if another Muslim sees that video, or sees that you smoking or this, that, and the other, and then that person, yeah, decides to start smoking, or listen to music, or start drinking and so forth, you get sin on it, and so do they. What's my proof for this? There's a hadith that says that whoever guides someone to good, yeah, whoever guides someone to good will get the same reward, yeah, without the reward of the person who they guided it to being decreased. Meaning, so for example, if you give someone a book on how to pray and they read that book, yeah, and they learn how to pray from that book. Every time they pray, you get reward for it. If you teach someone how to do wudu, if you teach someone how to say salam alaikum, whatever good you teach someone, as long as they keep on practicing, you get reward for it. One time, a companion, he said to the Prophet told him that when you cohabit or have relationships with your partner and so forth, you get reward for it. And the companion was like confused. He said, when I have relationships with my wife and so forth, I get reward for it. And he said, yes, don't you see? Yeah, don't you see that if you did zina, you would get punished for it. So you get rewarded for it. So the whole same thing as well. If you teach someone to do good, yeah, and they keep on doing that thing, whether it's how to pray, how to do wudu, and they keep on using that thing, you get reward for it. Likewise, if you teach someone to do bad, yeah, you get a punishment for it. That's why the first man to kill, yeah, from Adam's offspring, he will get a share of every murder that happens after that. So basically, the whole point I'm trying to say is that if we want to get forgiven on Yom Kippur, yeah, me, I'm not pious, I'm not some mu'min. I want to, inshallah, one day I want to be a mu'min. A mu'min is a different stage to a Muslim. Yeah, a mu'min, is someone that's beloved to Allah and so forth. Um, um, inshallah, reach the stage of worship, of ihsan. Now, there's a hadith called the Hadith of Jibril. It's a long hadith where a man came to the Prophet in the desert when he was with the companions, and the Prophet, no one recognized who the man was. And it's a long hadith, it's a famous hadith, mashallah, it's a beautiful hadith, there's many lessons in it. And basically, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he was um, sitting down, and none of the companions, they recognized it strange because he was dressed in white, yeah, and he had no signs of traveling on himself, yeah. So they were like, how's this man coming in the middle of the desert, and he's all dressed in white, and he's got no dirt, he's not dirty, and so forth. So anyway, it's a long hadith, and basically he sit down there and he asked the Prophet a couple questions, and he asked him, what is Islam? And the Prophet would answer it, and then he said, what is Iman? And he would explain it to him, and then he said, what is Ihsan? And he would explain it to him, and then the person, after the Prophet gave the answer, each time the man would say, you're correct, you're correct, you're correct. And the companions thought this was crazy because the Prophet was the most knowledgeable at that time, and this man is answering him questions, and he's saying he's correct, and he's saying he's correct. So anyway, one of the questions was, what is ihsan? And the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that ihsan is to worship Allah like you see him, even though you don't, but you know he sees you. So ihsan is to worship Allah like you see him, like you're all, like you actually see him, and you're aware that he's watching you. And inshallah, may Allah make us all to be people who worship Allah with ihsan, and make us mu'mins. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, the point is that none of, like, we all suffer from different things, but the whole thing is that I don't get is that I know that if I fall into a sin or something, it's out of weakness. It's never because I think that, you know, Allah hasn't seen what I've done. It's never because I think that Allah is not aware of what I'm doing. It's because of my own weakness as a person. But I don't understand how people, yeah, can post music on, like they're struggling with music, but that's not enough for them. It's not enough for them that they're struggling with music. They also have to post it online, yeah, and by posting it online, they're tempting all the people that are following them. They're giving them an option to disobey their creator. Like, how selfish is that? Why is it if you suffer with something like music or smoking or drinking or whatever it is, yeah, if you're, because you can't be both, you can't sincerely be sorry, yeah, that you're tried with this sin and it's a test for you, and you're trying to get over it, or you're trying to stop it and stuff like that. And also, yeah, you're showing people that you either listen to music or you smoke or you drink and so forth as well by posting it online. You can't both. Either you don't care, yeah, and you're posting it online, yeah, or you do care and you're ashamed of it and you keep it to yourself, yeah, because there's no reason. Let's just say you're weak and you fall into this sin of music or whatever it is, or this, that, and the other. That's one thing. But what excuse is there to post it online to another 100 people? Well, some of us have thousands of people on our social media. Like, what you can't say it's out of necessity that you have to post that. It takes effort to do it. So the whole thing is, at the end of the day, is that, like, if a person sincerely wants to be forgiven, if a person really wants to get to Jannah on Yom Kippur, we all can have enough sins. We all, you know what I'm saying? When you take away, when you take away, like, you've got your good deeds and you've got your prayer, but when you take away how many prayers were not done with khushu', concentration, when you take away the prayers that people have missed, when you add all the bad deeds and this, that, and the other, and so forth, yeah, and the amount of sins you've seen with your eyes and you've heard with your ears and all these different things, yeah, that's enough. Let alone, you know, because think about it. If you have 100 followers and you post something on haram, you have the potential of getting 100 sins for every eye that sees it. If you've got 1,000 followers, yeah, and you post sins, that's the potential of 1,000 people seeing that, yeah, and you get that 1,000 sins. And if you've got tens of thousands of followers on your social media and you post something, yeah, then that's another that's tens of thousands of sins. And the worst thing is you could post something. There could be a person that's practicing, yeah, or trying to practice and so forth. You post something and it knocks them completely off their deen, yeah. Or imagine this: there's a brother or sister they're following you. You post a picture of you, I don't know, clubbing or drinking or with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is, yeah. And then that person ends up committing zina. Yes, they're to blame because they're responsible for their actions and so forth, but you influenced it. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, the whole thing is at the end of the day, I just wanted to say is that look, at the end of the day, if we want to get forgiven on Yom Kippur, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't broadcast our sins because of the hadith of the Prophet, where he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that all of our companions will be forgiven. So, where he said, all of our sins will be forgiven except those who broadcast our sins. And that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse, yeah. We all sin, I sin, you sin, so forth. Inshallah, we should try to avoid the major sins, yeah. We should try to avoid the major sins and look at the minor sins as major sins, yeah. But there's no excuse. There's no excuse for a person, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, you know what I'm saying, whether it's struggling with hijab, yeah, for you, yeah, to post either you doing haram online or post haram online. There's no excuse for that. What excuse? What are you gonna say on your Mukima for posting music online? Okay, you struggle with music. If you die, like falling into it, trying not to listen to it, begging Allah, making dua, oh Allah, take this thing away from me so that I don't love it. I'm not addicted to it and so forth. That kind of person, inshallah, like we all have the ability to give up music or weed, all this, that, and the other, and so forth. But even if there's a person that struggles with it, stays away for a while, falls back into it, but they're always making toba and stuff and so forth, yeah. This person, inshallah, they get forgiven on Yom Kippur. But a person that shares music to other people, you know what I'm saying? That's selfish. Wallahi, that's selfish. Because you're testing other believers with a fitna that they don't need to be tested with. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, inshallah, this is just a short reminder. And I would just say to brothers, sisters, myself, as Anasi, is that, look, whatever sins you struggle with and so forth, yeah, don't ever, I would never be in a situation where you lower another believer's iman. You know what I'm saying? If there's something you struggle with, keep it between you and Allah, and inshallah Allah will forgive us on Yom Kippur. It's like sisters as well. If you're struggling with hijab, there's no need, yeah, for you to show other sisters, yeah, that you're not wearing hijab or that like, or that, you know, like tempting them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine there's hijabi sisters following you and you're posting pictures like with hardly any clothes on and you're going out and you're clubbing this, that, and the other. Just because a person wears niqab or hijab doesn't mean that they doesn't mean that they don't have weaknesses. Don't mean that they don't get tempted by things and so forth. You know, and same thing with brothers as well. So this is just a short reminder, inshallah. Inshallah, I'm going to try and do some more of these once I've like sorted out the technical side of it and everything. And Jazakallah khair. I'm going to start reading through your questions, inshallah. And if I've got the ability, I'll try and answer it, inshallah. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay, cool. Assalamu alaikum, Malik Mohammed. Okay. Cool. Forgive me, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, forgive me if I missed one. I've got YouTube on. I've got 2 YouTube channels on. I've got a Facebook and something else. I'm not sure, but okay. Okay. Hey, brothers, please don't look. Hold on. Guys, please don't come in there and start sharing accounts, man. Yeah, because I don't know exactly what people have got in their accounts, and I'm not going to be responsible for people sharing their stuff, please. So, like, okay, good. Salam alaikum, Digital. How you doing? You okay? It's not my first live stream, but YouTube don't seem to like me, man. Jamila Stakar. What it's about? Um, it was about sinning on social media. If anyone's got any questions, yeah, just put them in. If not, inshallah, I'm gonna call it a day. Brother, go live if you can. Email me, send me your number. I would like you to call you sometime. Yeah, Usama Islam. Just, you know what is? Add, if you wanna message me Hussein Thomas on Facebook, yeah, or Street Ordine on Instagram. That's the best way. I don't know how messages work on YouTube, but I know it's gonna be a mission to find it. Jordan, I agree. Muslims listen to music does not bother me, but when they, yeah. Look, everyone has their own things that they. Everyone has their own thing, their own fitness that they deal with. Different things for different people. But what reason have you got to share it online? I don't understand. It's like when I see people like uploading videos smoking a spliff or weed and stuff like that. And what's worse, a lot of these people are born into Muslim families, yeah, and it's like bunning a spliff, yeah, and everyone knows it's haram. Everybody, Muslim, non-Muslim, even people who are not religious, yeah, non-Muslims who are not religious, yeah, know that Muslims shouldn't be smoking spliff. And Muslims are not dumb, yeah. Muslims know, Muslim non-Muslims are not dumb. They know that you shouldn't be smoking weed. They know you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. They know that what is it? They know that alcohol is haram. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what you got to understand is that people know, yeah, the way it is, yeah, people know, even non-Muslims who ain't religious or interested in religion or anything, they know certain people from certain countries are Muslim, whether it be Somalian, Moroccan, Algerian, Egyptian. People know that they're Muslim because some of these people have Muslim friends. You know, 1 out of every 5 persons are Muslim. So even if you're not practicing, you're not wearing a phobe, you ain't got a bed and this, that, and you're out in public, yeah, and you're smoking a spliff or you're smoking a cigarette or you're drinking alcohol, like, people know that, like, you're just, you know what I'm saying? Listen, if you suffer from smoking, yeah, and you're addicted, then smoke in private and make dua for Allah to help you out. But coming out, that's why things become so easy for people to sin. The more people that come out and just smoke casually or drink casually or not wear hijab casually in public, yeah, the more confidence other people have to sin. You see what I'm saying? The more that people do haram openly, yeah, the more confident other people feel to do it. The other day I was in Westfield. I was like going through Westfield, and I'm not gonna say the country, but there was like a brother, and there was another girl from the same country, yeah. And they walked through Westfield, yeah. Then what happened? Just open in public, they started kissing him. And these boys, proper young, proper young, yeah. You know, I would say they were around 16, 17. I could tell they're not married, yeah. The girl never had no hijab on, I thought. And it licked me because, do you know what? To see a Muslim boyfriend and girlfriend in public, yeah, kissing and this, that, and the other, it might be becoming normal, yeah, but it wasn't. A few years ago, it wasn't normal. They weren't brave enough to do it. They weren't. They weren't. They would. They wasn't so ignorant enough to do that. But now they're holding hands and kissing in public. You tell their boyfriend and girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? And the more that happens, the more confident other people seem to do it, you know. So the whole thing is that me myself, I've got sins and things I've got to be I'm responsible for your Kiyama Kiyama. Inshallah, I, um, I'll free myself from them before I die, inshallah. And so, but if not, yeah, no one will know about it because I'm ashamed of it. And whenever I sin, it's only out of weakness for Allah. And I don't want to be responsible for any other believer, you know, having dealing with a fitna, putting it a fitna which could allow them to disobey the law. Imagine you've got your own life that thing you're struggling with, and then yeah, you're gonna you're gonna be the reason another Muslim may disobey their law. I don't need that on my shoulders, Yom Kippur, man. I'm sure no one else does. You know. What's the punishment for fornication? Well, the punishment for fornication in this dunya is lashes. I think it's 70 lashes. But the punishment of fornication in the next life is there's a hadith that mentioned that I think it was the Prophet Sallallahu was shown Jahannam, and there was people pushing each other into an oven, yeah, and they would be burned alive and so forth. And I believe that's the punish for it, you know. And obviously, you know, when you get punished for sins in Jahannam, major sins, you're not punished for 1 day or 2 days. It's for thousands of years and so forth, you know. Assalamu alaikum, Jordan. See you later. Take care. I agree. Listen, if you guys are talking about the brother Paul apostating and so forth, that's his choice. It's his loss. You know what I'm saying? You know, Islam. That's what I'm saying. If someone becomes Muslim and then they understand Tawheed in detail, yeah, they understand like Tawheed and its three categories and so forth. They're not gonna leave Islam for emotional reason. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is that person never understand the deen in the first place. If you leave Islam for emotional reason, like Muslims were bad to me, or a Muslim was rude to me, or a Muslim had bad manners with me, that means you never became Muslim based upon knowledge, because you would know that whatever you learned, you would learn that my belief in Islam was based on the Quran and the Sunnah, the text of Islam. Yeah, and whatever Muslims do, if it's not in accordance from the text of Islam, then it's not part of Islam, and it's just a person being ignorant. So, you know, it's really annoying when Muslims beg people, yeah, and beg people to take shahada or practice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, if someone wants to take shahada, if someone wants to stay in Islam, they stay in Islam. If they don't, it's their loss, you know? But how do I break away from her? My father got diagnosed with cancer. She said, can he not look after himself? Wissam, Assalam, what's your question? What is your question? You're talking about some girl. Where is it? Brother, go live if you can. Even send me your number. I would like to call you sometime. Yeah, I saw it. Okay, so yes, my sister already said to me that if I, what is it to do with her girlfriend? Aslam, sorry. Send the question again. I am in a haram relationship. Okay. Expecting a child, she's an atheist. Subhanallah. Wallahi, I tell you what, yeah. when I came to Islam, when I took Shahada, I found out two things were haram that I thought were impossible to give up. I found out that music was haram, and I found out that smoking weed was haram. Now, basically, these two things I thought mentally and physically they were too hard to give up because like it was part of my life, ain't it? It was like I woke up in the morning, I had my music set right beside my bed. You know what I'm saying? Like the first thing I did before my eyes even opened up here, I would press play. Some rap tune would come out and this, that, and the other. Next thing I'd do like a spliff routinely, you know? And anyone who smoked weed or smoked cigarettes, it's not easy to give up. And so basically, these two things are music I loved. And I think I sincerely believed it was mentally impossible to be happy without music. And music, smoking, I was addicted to it because like when you smoke weed or cigarette all the time, yeah, your body needs it, the nicotine. So it's like you become reliant on it, and if you don't have it, you become agitated. So basically, all I did is that the two things is that I did to give them up is that I just made dua to Allah and I begged him to take to make it easier for me to give these things up. The effort at first, after that, was really hard for the first few days. After a few like a week or so or two, it got easier, but it was still hard. And after like I'm saying basically a month, I was able to give it up to the stage where I didn't need it and I didn't have an urge for it. Okay, you said Osama Islam. She's a hardcore atheist. She wants to be part of my child's life. I must drop my family all day except her as an atheist. SubhanAllah. Do you know what? I'm not going to give you a lecture about doing zina because it's too late now, but this is one of the cases of doing zina because you could have a child at any time, but okay. The situation is this, is that the only way, the thing is you want the child to grow up Muslim, yeah. Now the reality of the situation is that the mother generally raises the kid, yeah. So the whole thing is at the end of the day is that like if she's an atheist and she's a hardcore atheist and she raises a child, then the chances are she's gonna pass the beliefs on to the child. So you need to think what's the priority at the moment is that if you're gonna have this child, you want it to grow up a believer. Yeah. Now I know at the moment you're most probably emotionally involved, and you have feelings for her and so forth. But you have to try and think without emotion. Think, my child, am I gonna stay with this girl? Yeah. I raise a child with her, and you know, and she gonna want to raise him a non-Muslim, atheist or non-Muslim and so forth, and you want to raise a Muslim. You know, like I think the most important thing is you being on Deen and your child being Muslim. You know, and so forth. So the whole thing is at the end of the day, and you can make dua for her privately, like you can make dua for her, that she may take shahada and so forth. But right now and so forth, you need to think about basically that, when you give the baby gives birth and stuff, you want the baby to grow up a Muslim. So hold on, she's hardcore. The baby's due next month. Father will have our hearts if found out. He is old school practicing Muslim. He would disown me. How old are you, Aki? How old are you? Yeah, also like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed, yeah? Jazakallah khairan. 25. Okay. Would you think he's gonna let you stay in the house, or do you think he's gonna chuck you out? Assalamu alaikum, Nomad. Assalamu alaikum, Mohammed Rashid. He will kick me out. What? So you reckon he's really gonna? You think he's really gonna kick you out on the street and make you homeless? Yeah. He will have a heart attack. He's very respected in Muslim community. Subhanallah. See, well, actually, what I would say, that's what I'm saying. You're 25, actually. Well, the most important thing that you have to do at the moment is you have to look out for yourself, actually. You know what I'm saying? You need to, at the moment, you need to look out for yourself and find and try and make sure you got a place to stay, and you don't, fall into the fitna of the dunya being homeless and stuff like that. Because if you ain't got a place to stay, then it's gonna be hard for you to look after your kid. Let alone raise him on tawheed and stuff. So, your first priority is, to Are you working? Are you working at? Subhanallah, may Allah aid you, man. All of you in your salat, please make dua for the brother, because this is a serious situation. This is a serious situation, man. Being homeless is not a joke, man. Wallahi, being homeless, man, it's not a joke. I couldn't afford a place. I run a six. Oh, you're sorted then. You got me worried, Aki, man. I'm, Aki, you got me worried. I'm thinking that he's gonna kick you out. You're 25, because a lot of people at 25 they ain't got enough. If they ain't got if you get kicked out on your man, you're gonna have to afford private accommodation. Private accommodation is crazy pricing, bro. For a little, just one room, it's like hundred and something pound a week. But alhamdulillah, you run a construction company, so alhamdulillah, you can afford your own place. So that situation sorted. Alhamdulillah, if you run a mashallah, to run a construction company at 25 is a big achievement. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, that's sorted. So alhamdulillah, you got your own place. So what you just need to do, what you need to try to do, Akhi, is that your main aim is basically when that baby's born, to teach it to eat D and so forth. And actually, don't feel that. I know it's hard to think when you've got feelings for someone, yeah, but don't feel that you can't be happy without this girl and this, that, and the other. Wallahi, whatever she's got, or whatever you like about her, or whatever makes you attracted to her and you like about her, there's practicing sisters on Tawheed who cover, who, what I'm saying, are good sisters, yeah, who, what I'm saying, who can, what is it, who you can be happy with. No, but he's saying that he needs to stay with his family. He needs to stay at family, but he hasn't. I don't think he hasn't got a choice in it, because um the he's because his father's going to throw him out. He said it's not debatable. And the thing is this, wallahi, when I first come into Islam, I've been in this situation. It's impossible to practice your deen, yeah, and live with someone who doesn't practice the deen, yeah. Forget whether they're Muslim or not. Even if they are Muslim, it's impossible for a person that practices to live with a person who doesn't practice, yeah, and for your iman to stay hard. It's impossible. It's impossible. because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna be in your house, yeah. She gonna listen to music. Your iman's gonna go down. She could be watching men on TV, not dressed properly. It's gonna hurt your hair. It's gonna hurt your. You know what I'm saying? She might decide she wants to go out with her friends, just I don't know, clubbing or something. We're just going out to enjoy ourselves. Like it's it's just gonna rip you apart. You see what I'm saying? It's just gonna rip you apart. Okay, the whole point is that, and when the kid grows up, he can see daddy's praying, mummy isn't. Daddy goes masjid, mummy doesn't go in masjid. He asks, when the baby or he or she, the baby asked about the mum about why doesn't she go masjid or why don't you do pray and this that, she gonna say I don't believe in it. It's gonna mash up the thing. And the thing is, there's a million, actually, there's bare sisters out there that are practicing that are good. Like, I don't believe, actually, Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that He didn't create mankind and jinn except to worship Him. Yeah, I don't think Allah's gonna create us, yeah, to worship Him. Yeah, and it's impossible. So whether it's music, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol, whether it's girls, and this, that, and the other, it's possible to give it up. And I'm saying, I know at the moment, it's hard for you because you're inside the relationship and you've got feelings. So the whole thing is that you're most probably hoping that, if you keep on giving her dawah, giving her dawah, and giving her dawah, yeah, one day she's gonna eventually take shahada. But the thing is, it may never happen. I know brothers, yeah. There's certain brothers I know, actually, they're practicing when they're on their own. They're practicing. They pray. They fast. They don't do any haram. They're on their deen, yeah. But because of sin a long time ago, yeah, what's happened is that they're with this partner, and then what happens when they're with that person, their iman is just low. That person listens to music. You know what I'm saying? That person, you know what I'm saying, is like, I don't know, drinks or smokes or this, that. Like, so what happens is that they're in this relationship, yeah, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, yeah. And at the end of the day, this person doesn't 10 years and this person hasn't taken shahada. And what happens is that means that every time you're in that person's space, yeah, or they're with them, yeah, they put their deen on pause. You know what I'm saying? Or their iman goes down. It's just not worth it, Aki. It's just not worth it. You know? My dad will shun me and disown the rest of the family will this, that, and the other. Assalamu alaikum, Jeffrey Gomez, Swift Productions. Um, I don't think he's a troll. But all I'm saying, Osman, is that the longer you stay with her, yeah, and the longer the older this child gets, yeah, the more confused the child's gonna get. So the best thing for you to do is get your own place, teach your kid deen, you can't help it. Obviously, when the baby's with her, and so forth, and make dua for her. But as for living in the same house, you can't live in the same house as someone who's someone who's not practicing. Let alone believing. Yeah, doesn't even a believer that doesn't practice. You can't live in a house and just keep your iman. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, your iman is gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? And so forth. And what you got to do, Allah says, save yourself and your family and the people closest to you. So you got to save yourself. And like I said, Akhi, wallahi, you're thinking that if you leave this girl, that you're never going to be happy again, or you're going to be upset, or you're going to be depressed. But the reality is, if Allah controls the sun, He controls the moon, He controls the universe, and so forth, yeah. And all that's in creation, He can provide you with a female that's better than her who worships Allah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so what, like I said, Usman, what you do is inbox me on Instagram, Street Ordine, or inbox me on Hussein Thomas Facebook, and we can chat on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can link up and talk about the situation, inshallah. No? But may Allah aid you. And everyone in this room, if you can, try and make dua for the brother. You know what I'm saying? Make dua for the brother, inshallah. You know? Assalamu alaikum, Salahuddin bin Solomon. Yeah, so Arabiya Khalil. Yeah. So if there's no more questions, I know it's late at night, I should have started earlier, but hey, came in from work late, so I have to do my lives late. And look, this is, you know what I'll say, Dawah Digital, why have you not got Digital Dawah? Why have you got that Murtad Russian agent on your channel? Oh, man's just chatting. No, you don't. You don't have to say the one in Arabic. If English is your language, no, you don't. But what I was gonna say is that this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, see, you know what is the problem is? Yeah, you see, because we're growing up in London. Yeah, the problem is because we're growing up in London. Yeah, and a lot of Kafar boys just forget they don't have girlfriends. They have a phone. Yeah, and whatever girl, and they chat up anything as much females as they see, and they can get. Yeah, and they just sleep around. Brothers get caught up in this year. And when you're young, when you're young, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, brothers just get excited and get caught up in a moment and do zina and stuff like that. But the whole problem is that once you have a child, man, if the sister ain't on deen, yeah, and this could apply to sisters, if the brother isn't on deen, yeah, or is from like a non-believer, this, that, the other, it's problems. You know what I'm saying? But when you're young, when we're young, and see her just goes in one area and out the other. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. I can feel the brother's pain, man. Assalamu alaikum, Rukia. Yeah. So, look, this is a priceless lesson to everyone that, you know. So yeah, this is a sad situation. And then every young brother, look, the brother's 25, you know what I'm saying? And this is a big problem. So, and that's, wallahi, I don't know, you know, I'm saying, I think parents, this is a problem, is that we need to break the cycle of where parents have this crazy dowry or mahar, what they call it, I think, in other languages. Like, they got this crazy dowry to get married, yeah? That has to go. Yeah, we have to get people younger. We should try to get brothers and sisters married off in their late teens, yeah, in their early 20s, yeah, and so that they don't fall into zina, yeah. But the whole thing is that this whole thing of making marriage like so expensive. People are gonna be committing zina before they get married. We got to get rid of it. Now the older generation who came from back home, they're stuck in it. A lot of them are stuck in their ways. So like maybe they're not gonna do it. But for us, younger brothers who are raised here, you need to stop this stop this cycle. If the price is already high, people are not gonna get married till later. If they don't get married till later, and they're in a country where they see all this fitness and stuff like that, they're gonna commit zina. That's it. Yeah. Your daughter's gonna get married. Or she's gonna commit zina. Yeah, at a young age. So it's better you know who she's doing it with and know the family with, and you help her to get married. Same thing with your sons. There ain't no thing staying a virgin till what is it, 30 or 40 or whatever you want, or late 20s. That's not gonna happen. It's impossible. You see what I'm saying? It's a joke. It's a joke. You keep on living in your false modesty and your forced, what is it, bloody, yeah, keep thinking that you like she's just gonna be a good little girl, or you're just gonna be a good little boy until what is it 30 or 40 or this that and the other. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, we need to make it easier for them. You know, so but yeah. Anyway, this is a prime example of you know why we should one help people to get married younger. Two, you know what I'm saying? Lower the dowry, yeah, and just aid people to get married. We're living in the West. It's not. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? There's fitna left, right, center. You know what I'm saying, and so forth. Even social media now. Wallahi, man. There used to be a stage where there was childhood. Sorry, there was birth, childhood, and adulthood. Because of social media and smartphones with access to internet, there's just birth and adulthood. Kids don't get a chance to be children anymore. Their innocence is robbed from them. From like as soon as they get a phone, their innocence is robbed from them because they see everything. I mean everything. So the whole thing is at the end of the day is that um, yeah, we just gotta break this cycle, man. The older generation are stuck in their ways and they got a lot of stuff that's not from the Quran and Sunnah and from back home culture. Yeah. So this high dowry, massive dowry, this, that, and the other, we have to be the generation that breaks it, you know, inshallah. Brother Hussein, I'll go live, I'll contact. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, inshallah. Okay. Okay, did you hear what Imran Hussein has been saying? What has he been? What has he been saying? Celtic Salafi. Saladin bin Salman. It's a good idea, but you gotta know what's more important to parents than even what? Salahuddin, it's a good idea, but fam, you gotta know what's more important to parents than even the husband and wife weddings. I don't mean that. Nomad. Nomad, what are you saying? What are you saying? The nomad, I mean overall in general, not just for this topic. Not always. Yeah, you have to respect your parents. You have to maintain manners with them, even if they're wrong. You can't disrespect them, but you don't have to follow what they're doing when it's wrong. Yeah. So, but it sounds like his father's gonna kick him out anyway, regardless of what he does. I mean, salam alaikum, assalam. It sounds like the brother doesn't have a choice anyway. His parents are gonna the his yeah, but look, at the end of the day, his parents. He said his parents are gonna kick him. There's no debate. His parents are. It's not. There's not a choice. There's not like either you stay at home, yeah, and don't move with the girl when you can stay at home. His parents aren't saying that. He's saying that his parents are gonna chuck him out, regardless of what happens. You might as well diss the Prophet and the angels if you're taking riba because you're going to water them. Then his parents are bad parents. Why would you kick out your own? Yes, cool culture. They're gonna kick it. They're gonna no, not really, not really. His parents aren't bad parents because they want to kick him out. Because zina is a big thing, and having children from zina is not a part of our deen. It's something to look down upon. Not the child, but the act of having kids outside of marriage is something to be frowned upon. So the parents aren't wrong for being disgusted with that act. Yeah, maybe kicking him out is a bit extreme, but they're right to be upset because zina is not something we're proud of. What do you mean? The father of zina's the father of zina can't child can't go near the child because he's not mahram, right? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't go there? He has to look after his kid. He's responsible. No, we can't shake women's hands. The Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that it's better for you to be hit over the head with an iron bar than to touch the hand of a woman who's haram for you and so forth. No, we're not allowed to shake hands. So anyway, guys, if that's it, I'm off, mate. And kicking him out is just like a bad reputation. If you commit zina with a girl, then you can't go there unless you get married. Go, no, no, that's not right. At the end of the day, yes, it's haram for you to be with the girl because girlfriends are haram. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to look after the child. It's your responsibility. So if you don't go near the child because she's with the mother, then the baby, what's gonna happen to the baby? You're not gonna be able to look after her. And looking after the baby, yes, it's a sin, and the baby came from sin, but it's your responsibility now. Because if you just stay away from the baby in total because she's a woman and she's a girlfriend and she's not your wife and so forth, and so forth, then basically Yom Kiyama, when that you're gonna be responsible for not giving that baby dawa and raising it on his own. Oh man. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day, yeah? So I'll see you later. I'll see you later, inshallah. Yeah? Cool. Take care. What'd you say? You know my parents, right? They don't even care what they see in me. You know my parents. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Go live. Yeah. Alright. Jazak. Go live. Is the picture clear? Is the sound clear? Or is it bad? What? Swifter Productions. You see the sound? Is it clear? What's the quality like? Okay. Island Facts, man. Jazakallah khair. Yeah. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow or the day after, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.